All right, here we are for part two. If you recall this crowd scene we saw, I'm going to shrink it down one. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some really quick things here, so you can actually create something that becomes even more abstract. Right? I'm going to take my background. I'm going to make a duplicate layer of my background, like so. I'm going to say OK. I am going to rotate my image here. Transform. Let's rotate it 180 degrees. All right, so that layer is actually upside down, and I'm going to, I could change the opacity of this layer, right? So it starts to become very strange looking, right? I'm going to go to my, let's change the, I always like the levels just to sort of pump things up a little bit. Change the levels a little bit, all right, brighten it up. Let's bring the contrast over a little bit. There we go, like that. All right, so it's starting to look like some sort of strange amoeba thing just a little bit, right? You could do something now where you make a new layer, right, like so. I'm going to use my selecting tool. I'm going to select this part. I'm going to use my, my additive selection. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this, right? I'm going to take my paint bucket. Let's use a different color this time. And I'm going to fill those three stripes like that, right? I'm going to make another layer. I'm going to use this. I'm going to say, actually I'm going to use my additive, but first I want to deselect all those. Deselect. So I'm going to start new. So I'm going to make a line here, and I'm going to make a selection right here. I'm going to select a different color, like yellow. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to fill these two on this layer. All right, so now I have these two stripes and these two stripes. Now again, if you recall from the other tutorial, I'm going to take my layer here and I'm going to say darken. All right, and then I'm going to go to my green layer and I'm going to say difference. There we go. So see how this is becoming, it is becoming almost like wallpaper now. Right? We talked about wallpaper before, say deselect. It's becoming the strange wallpaper. And the neat thing about this is I can put all this away and I still get to my main image. Now what I might even do here is I might, depending on the resolution of your picture, if this was a great enough resolution, I'm going to take the none here, right? Make sure I'm on my background. I'm going to say edit, copy. All right, I'm going to go to layer 2 because I want to paste it on the top. So I'm going to say edit, paste. All right, there she is right down here. I'm going to hold down my shift key and I'm going to make her right in the center here. Like that, I'm going to say OK. So there she is, right? I'm going to turn on the rest of my layers so I can see them here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to start turning down the opacity of this layer. Right, so I can see her, I can see all that stuff sort of in the background, right? And you can see like these strange faces that sort of occur, they sort of mix and match and do all sorts of weird things here. You know, again, you can always change the property of this layer so you can see things. I turn this down. You know, you just have to be careful. It's easy to get lost actually in here because you could do so many different things with this. You know, it really becomes a lot of fun as you're sort of changing things. That's not too bad. You know, again, thinking about like a CD cover, record cover, something like that, doing something very abstract. You know, and maybe this becomes a little less abstract because we can start to recognize that non-space. But you know, you can always take this out, and you can mess with what you have here in the background. You know, you can cut pieces, glue pieces. You know, I can make another copy of this background copy here. Let's make a duplicate layer of this. Say OK. This layer, I'm going to show my transform controls. I'm going to rotate it like this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to make this even bigger so that it fits into the whole thing. Oops, let's make this a little bigger here. There we go, and then I'm going to say OK. So that's my rotation there. You know, if we want to have some sort of direction on this, you know, I can. Let's go to the top of this layer. I'm going to say hue and saturation. Okay, I'm going to turn the saturation down all the way to 0. But then I'm going to layer mask this bad boy, again using our gradient tool underneath the paint box. I'm going to use my radial gradient. I'm going to start in the center here, and I'm going to pull out to the middle. And now I have a color right in the middle here, right? So I'm showing just a little bit of whatever it is that's underneath there. You know, we could use this diamond one here. It might be sort of interesting. Shift key. Here we go. You know, so again, I'm creating emphasis in the center. I'm trying to make it more of a centrally located composition as opposed to having all this stuff on the end. No right or wrong answers. You know, we're just sort of working with this thing as it is. You know, here you can see it's more gray on the outside, but it's color in the center. Helps to create a little bit of emphasis. But really all you're trying to do is you're just trying to heighten some things. You're trying to create contrast. You're trying to increase textures so that you are working with balance, rhythm, unity, contrast, and emphasis to make something compelling and interesting to look at. All right, good luck.